Welcome to my channel. I am Ravi, and in this video I am going to talk about
Distributed system. Before we start with the course, let me introduce myself. So I'm Ravi, currently working as a developer in an investment bank, a CS graduate, and I have 4+ years of expertise in delivering enterprise solution in payment and financial banking domain. I have a good skill set on distributed system and microservice design pattern. This course is intended for developers, architect, student, from the computer science stream, develop and the engineering team, and business analyst is optional. Moving forward with the core concept of distributed system. So we'll start talking about what is distributed system, the terminology, characteristic, pros and cons, and the two type of scaling, vertical and horizontal. Post that we will talk about the single master concept and the problems of it, how we solve using the master slave concept. Then we will talk about sharding, consistent hashing, and caps theorem. And at last, we will talk about the clock synchronization protocol. So let's start. Distributed system. Let's talk about what is distributed system. It's a collection of independent computer that appear to its user as one computer. So you can think of a small application which then gained a lot of popularity and we were facing the performance issue. Now if I attach more machines into it in such a way, or I club more machines in such a way that each of those machines are serving the request for the same application. So what are the characteristic of it? They operate independently. What I mean by this is if one machine goes down, the another machine should not be impacted. Or if one machine is serving the request, the another machine should not be impacted because the first one is serving the request. The second is they operate concurrently. All the machines can serve the request parallelly or concurrently. The third is they fail independently. We always have to, while designing a distributed system, we always have to keep in mind that if I have 10 machines, any one of the machine can go down, and in such case my application should not go down. My application should still be up and running and should be able to serve the request. Also, they don't share a global clock. Assume one machine is deployed in America region, one is deployed in India region, and one some another region. In that case, the time what each machine will have will be specific to that particular region. So there are a couple of strategies how we solve these problems, which I'll discuss later in the course. Is your personal computer a distributed system? The answer is no. I have heard many times that people say, okay, I bought a new laptop, it has the latest generation, Intel i7, many cores, good amount of RAM. So does that make your computer or laptop a distributed system? Why the answer is no? Because it is just one computer, not more than one. And if that machine goes down or if your laptop goes down, the whole application will stop. And the fourth one, does it share a global clock? No. Hence, your personal computer is not considered as a distributed system. Now let's talk about scaling. So we have two type of scaling. The first is vertical, second is horizontal. By vertical, what I mean is if I increase the capacity or the compute power on the same machine, in that case, it is called as vertical scaling. And if I increase the number of machines or the number of computer or the laptop, in that case, such a scaling is called horizontal scaling. So let me take an example over here. Suppose I have an application, it was having a load of 1,000 users, 1,000 requests per month. So I was able to handle all those requests with just one machine. But in some time it gained popularity and I was receiving 1 lakh requests a month. So I was having performance issue. In that case, I can easily solve that by increasing the compute power or the RAM or the storage. But now think that it people from the world are accessing your application, and now in a day you are getting request like 1 lakh. So will you be able to solve such a large load with just vertical scaling? So we can do it up to a limit, but beyond that limit we cannot, because the hardware configuration of a computer, like I can only attach 128 GB or 256 GB of RAM at max. If I go beyond it, it's not wise to do so. In such cases, we go with horizontal scaling. And what we do is that we attach multiple machines. They need not to be of very high configuration. They can be of lower configuration, like 1 GB of RAM or 4 GB of RAM and just 100 GB of storage and a decent size of compute power. So using that, I can easily solve the problem of the huge amount of load. Now, the pros of distributed system is availability. Assume that I have just one machine. There might be many cases that it goes down, probably the system crash or the power failure or any other reason. In that case, my entire application will go down. But now, if I have multiple machines, the power failure or the system crash, whatever is happening on just one machine, but the another machine or the other machines are still up, so they will be able to serve the request for coming for that application. Now, talking about the low latency, since the load will be distributed among the different machines, the latency will be low. Also, we can do region-wise deployment. So we'll take example of few application like Tinder or Amazon where region-wise deployment is done, but those will be discussed at a later point of time. Talking about maintenance or upgrade, so if I want to do some kind of upgrade, let's say a database upgrade or the machine upgrade, or I want to do upgrade on the Java version, in that case I can just bring one machine down and do the upgrade or the maintenance part on that machine and bring that up, and once that is done, then I move forward to the next. So the thing what I explained over here is sequential. I'll bring one down, upgrade it, bring it back up, and then move to the next one. We can do something better over here, which again I'll talk later in the course. Cons. So complexity is one of the major con of distributed system. When we develop a distributed system, we need to attach more machines and how those machines communicate with each other, and locking problem, and there are many other problems. So how we solve all those adds a lot of complexity to the entire system. We will talk about each of those complexity and how to solve that in the later course. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my video.